Yes, today is another new helmet day here at Paul's Collectibles, and I'm really excited about this one. First of all, it's a great helmet, but second of all, I'm really excited to compare it to another helmet that I have of this same type, but from a high-end manufacturer. Let's get into this. All right, welcome to another episode of Paul's Collectibles. It's good to have you. Thanks for joining me today. This time we're going to be taking a look at another of my main jam here on Paul's Collectibles, full-size Star Wars helmets, but this is a little bit more unique. Now I already have this helmet in my collection, but I got another one because I'm mostly interested in comparing them, and that is the Black Series Scout Trooper helmet. Now, if you've paid attention to any of my videos, I think I have actually done an unboxing video on this helmet, and then I did a Sunday Spotlight. We're talking about the Sideshow Collectibles Scout Trooper helmet as well, which as of when I last checked is about $1,000. Now the one that I looked at, they have like, it looks like a signature or something with it. And the one I bought was probably, I want to say $700 or $800 all those years ago. So what's really important here? Well, the Black Series helmet is about $140. They've gone up since you used to be able to get them from $90, but that's still a steal. And I'm interested in seeing, first of all, how they did with the helmet, but second of all, how it compares to the really expensive one to see if it's just as good and you don't even have to worry about it. And then, of course, we'll have to decide what I'm going to do with the Black Series helmet, because obviously I'm going to keep my Sideshow Collectibles up there. It's kind of funny. I think I have a sickness. It's called more helmets, please. And my wife will ask me sometimes, how many helmets are you going to get? And my answer is usually more. So with that, let's get this thing in front of some lights, take a look at it, but more importantly, compare it to the high-end Sideshow Collectibles version to see which one is better. Okay, first off, let's take a look at the box. It's pretty much the same five-sided box we've been getting. This one's a little bit longer because I believe the shape of the helmet is a little different. It's a little bit longer than it is wide, so you get that variation. Right here, it shows you how it opens up. Get a view of the helmet on that side. That's that standard Black Series insert we get on just about everything. Here we have the partial graphic of the helmet and the schematic, just like we always get. And finally, some stats about the helmet, and it shows you once again that it opens up. But let's get that stuff out of there and take a look at what we got. Okay, so this one's a little different than the ones we've been getting. It came with like 3 packages. This and this were packaged together. That's obviously the chin strap with some snaps that we're gonna have to put on there. This looks like the back of the helmet where the battery pack goes. And then it comes with a bit of padding for the top, and then of course the helmet. So let's get this stuff all together and take a quick look at this helmet. Okay, first impressions right off the bat. Wow, this thing is really good. I'm actually impressed. These Black Series helmets just keep getting crazier and crazier. Now, this one came from Big Bad Toy Store. It was on sale on their website for like a day or something, I think, and then immediately sold out. They must have got an advanced pallet of these or something. But they're currently, as of the filming of this video, available on Entertainment Earth for pre-order. This literally, I ordered it and it was here 10 days later. That's how fast that came. It also actually came with the Ahsoka Clone Trooper helmet that you saw in my last video. But this thing is just phenomenal. Look at that. So let's first off take a look at the front. Those are raised in there. Those aren't decals. That's raised. That's not a decal. This is a good sturdy lens. The front of this is very detailed. There's the standard Stormtrooper mic, of which they only used 1 instead of the 2 that you see on the regular Stormtrooper and Clone Trooper helmets. As we come around, holy goodness, that thing is just amazing. They've got the beautiful, that's a decal right there. There's the toggle for the visor, and that is actually black plastic in there. That's not a hole. And as you come around, you can see the telltale gray markings on the back. These are raised, sound like a comb. That's where that plastic piece went. That's the battery pack there. And once again, I just put these on here and then I don't test the voice changers. I don't put batteries in there and I don't deal with them because these voice changers, the vast majority of the time, are silly. They don't do a very good job and it's a waste of time. And this is actually accurate. On the screen used ones, this is like a black decal. And then over here, this was like some grayish decal, I think, or something. But on this helmet, it's soft and smooth. So you can't even hear me comb over it, but it is a inset right there. So that's not a decal. And as you come around, you see more of the same. And then what I love about this is, listen to this. So you can actually hear it open, and it stays steady with the visor open, which I think is very cool. Let's look at the inside of the helmet. As you can see, I've got the chin strap snapped on. There is the headpiece that goes on the top to make it more comfortable for you, and they have a lot of the fake electronics and things in there. Once again, no skimping on that. That's really good. That's amazing, actually. And it just closes right back down. And I have to be honest with you, I keep saying this because they keep outdoing themselves, but this might be one of the best Black Series helmets we've ever gotten. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm a little worried for the Sideshow Collectibles helmet that we are going to compare it to. Now, the question before we move on is, my Sideshow Collectibles Scout Trooper helmet doesn't fit on my head because I've got a size 8 head. Let's see if this bad boy will fit on my head. And as you can see, not only does it go on my head, it looks good, and when you raise the visor, it actually will stay up and stay stable on your head, and that's without the padding in it. But wow, just a great helmet, and for, let's just say, 140 bucks. You cannot go wrong. If you're not getting one of these, even if you're not a helmet collector, but you are a diehard Star Wars fan, I really think you're missing out. Totally grab one of these. This might be the #1 Black Series helmet out there right now. But let's get it next to the Sideshow Collectibles and take a look at it. Okay, what we're looking at here is the Black Series helmet on the left and the very high-end, very expensive Sideshow Collectibles helmet on the right. Now, the very first thing you notice, and that's not an optical illusion, the Black Series helmets seem to do these as opposed to the high-end and other brand Trooper helmets, and that is that this is much more of a pristine white, where this is more of like a creamy white almost, as you can see. And I'll run my finger across the top. Those are decals, whereas those are inset. The visor feels about the same. That is a decal as opposed to this, which is inset. Now you get down here, and these look almost identical. This is a little bit more detailed down here. Let's lift that up. Yeah, this one's just a little bit more detailed, but it's really difficult to tell the difference. I mean, the circles are a little different, and this is all black instead of silver in there. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not even sure if that's screen accurate or not. Now, one of the other things I noticed when I put this helmet down is, if you'll notice, it doesn't stay, like when I set it down, it wants to see the visor go up like that. Whereas this one is got notches in it or something, and it will stay in that position when you set it down. Okay, for this side shot, I adjusted the intensity of the light, so it may look a little different than the shot we just saw. But once again, you can really tell the difference in the colors. And see how when this one is sitting down here, it stays pretty much flush. There's only a little bit of flex in that. Whereas when this one sits, the visor goes up and down pretty pronounced. It's very different. And then on the side here, this is cloth right in here, whereas this is hard plastic. So you can kind of push that. It feels like a microphone almost. And then you can see a slight difference in the color of the grays with the toggle bolts here. And once again, it's still pretty pronounced. You can see the difference in the colors. It looks a little yellower on video, but you can definitely see it when you're doing it live here like this. Now, these are decals here on this high-end one, and these are actually cut in. So, you know, it just depends on what you're going for, screen accuracy, or what you think they were trying to accomplish, as I've mentioned so many times before. And when you look on the back here, this is where I think the high-end helmet is really going to win, because you have that silly voice changer, but I totally get it. It's supposed to be a toy, as opposed to on this one, you have, okay, yeah, that's indented and raised in, and this is a black decal. So that's going to be the main difference on the back of these. Now, where these differ significantly is in the build down here at the bottom of the helmet. See how shallow this is compared to this custom one over here? And what you're looking at here, this is actually threaded through for the chin strap, as opposed to this one, which is snapped in there, to be perfectly honest with you. So I'm not sure which I like better. Well, let's take a look at the inside and see how it adjusts. Okay, so we'll start off with the Sideshow helmet, and you can see the visor comes up and you can see a lot of the front of the helmet, whereas on the Black Series one, the build is significantly different. Look how shallow that is compared to the front of the Sideshow Collectibles helmet. That's significantly different. That's really wild. I didn't expect to see that big of a difference. Now, of course, this one doesn't fit on my head. That might have something to do with it. But getting back to this strap in here, as you can see, this is fully lined, and the strap disappears underneath here. So frankly, I'm not even sure how this is supposed to be adjusted, or if you even can adjust it. That's interesting. This, however, is a much sturdier material, I'm feeling, especially on this chin piece. This almost feels like a fiberglass cast, for goodness sakes. Heck, it might be. And the inside is lined with like a cloth But as you can see, they cut through the side of it here to bring this out and through again for the chin strap. Whereas on the Black Series helmet, you can see the significant difference in there. That's going to be probably the main difference between these two helmets. But there you have it. There's kind of a side-by-side comparison between the Black Series helmet and the Sideshow Collectibles helmet. And as you can see, there's some fairly significant differences, especially in size. And the interior and front makeup of the helmet is just absolutely different. Now, I'm kind of partial to the Black Series because it'll actually go on my head, but I never wear them. This one displays beautifully, and it comes with a stand, and I also keep it on a stand, so this visor effect thing that's going on here where it collapses a little bit doesn't bother me. So I think I'm just gonna keep this one on display, and maybe I'll paint this one black or something. But there you have it. Just a quick overview look at the new Black Series Scout Trooper helmet, which just is absolutely phenomenal. It blew me away. It holds up great against the Sideshow Collectibles version, a higher end version of this helmet, as you saw. Plus, it goes on your head and the visor is much sturdier. So, you decide. And finally, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, maybe consider doing that for me. That's a great way to support my efforts here at Paul's Collectibles. And if you're already a subscriber or somebody who's been watching my videos for a really long time, you know I greatly appreciate it. And with that, I'll see you on the next video.